We talked about manifesting and creating intentions to attract objects to us, but what about the reverse? What if we are doing manifestations or intentions to repel something? Let's talk about that. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pagan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about when you manifest or create intentions to repel something or to maybe remove an obstacle or person. This is a tricky thing, but it can be done, and we normally do it. And sometimes I want to talk about the effects of when we do it unintentionally, like we don't know what we're putting out there. So let me start off with a little story. I won't bore you with all the details of beekeeping, but it does involve some bees. When we first started getting into beekeeping, I got two different types of bees, package bees. I got Italian bees and Russian bees. Those are, I think, the only two available, unless you get mixed ones. Because I wanted to see the difference in variety, because they'll tell you that the Italian bees are nicer and the Russian bees are meaner, but the Russian ones are less susceptible to certain bee diseases or mites or parasites, that kind of thing, and the Italian bees are pretty susceptible to them. So I wanted to check out both and gauge my own experience and see what we would go for in the future. When we got the bees set up, everybody's happy, everything's working, they're doing great. But then I started to get really hands-on with them to learn about them and to communicate with them and, you know, to create a relationship. The Italian bees, sweet as honey. They were so nice. I could open up the hive, check the frames. The bees would crawl on me. Nobody stung me. It was very, very nice. The Russian ones, on the other hand, mean. Territorial, they were aggressive, and to the point that I was constantly getting stung. The bees are set off about 10 feet away from the garden, just so they can pollinate the garden and have some food for themselves and create honey. So they're not that far away. So every time I was in the garden, I was getting stung too. I mean, they were just that aggressive. And so it made me not want to beekeep, or maybe thinking I was doing something wrong. But then it started to make me not like them, and I hate feeling like that, and I hate thinking about another creature like that, especially one that I am taking care of, right? So unfortunately, you know, I'd go by and be like, oh, I don't like you guys, go away, or I don't want you here. And then I had to understand that there's a relationship. I was like, fine, you guys keep your honey, I don't want your honey, because it's probably bad honey anyway. Like, I was just being mean about the whole situation. And then they got more aggressive towards me. So finally I sat there and I was like, you know what, it is their honey, they're protective, and this is not a mutually beneficial relationship. So then my intentions towards them changed to, you don't like me, I'm not particularly fond of you, maybe this isn't a good fit. I mean, it's a big wide world out there, and maybe there's a bigger home out there for you guys, a better home, maybe in a yard that you would like better, or in the woods or something. Maybe you're just not meant to be in my yard. And there was one day that I noticed a lot of activity outside the hive, and then a few days after that I noticed nothing, and I was just like, okay, that's a little crazy. So I opened up the hive, and lo and behold, it's empty. There are no bees, not even a body or a wing or nothing, and not one drop of honey left. So they just packed up entirely and left. And I think it was for the best. Like, maybe they just weren't happy here. And plus, you know, I wasn't having a good time with them, because they were just kind of killing my experience with beekeeping. And I think I was putting that out there in a nicer way. And so they understood and took that as, you know, they're cute, that maybe, you know, it would be better if they left. So that being said, more bugs. But that being said, these are things that we put out towards people too. I think sometimes, a lot of times, very much so unintentionally. Like, we're just like, ugh, like, you know, I don't understand your workflow, or this is bothersome, or, you know. So sometimes we have this tendency to put that yuckiness out towards people, or you're bothering me, or something like that, instead of a nicer way to do it. So we don't get the reaction we want out of people, because it's kind of like a feeding off kind of thing, right? Because they'll respond to that, and not in a pleasant manner. But there are ways to send out intentions towards people and physical objects and animals that they're bothersome without being mean about it, and then maybe it's more beneficial and you'll see a better result of them maybe giving you more space or leaving or just not coming around anymore. And that's a lot better than, you know, them feeling that negative and then responding with negative. And not only that, keeping in mind sovereignty. So you can't affect someone else's free will. So if they don't want to go, you're not going to make them go. You're not going to say, get out of here, you got to leave. You want to make it mutually beneficial and maybe sweeten the pot a little of, you know, you don't like me, I don't like you, or this isn't working, maybe we could work better in opposite ways, or however you want to, or however it needs to spin to make it beneficially or mutually beneficial to both of you, and to not affect free will, so that putting out the energy that maybe I'm uncomfortable or this isn't working for me, and then hopefully they'll feed off that and then take it and adjust to the situation. So has there ever been a time in your life where you put out intentions or try to manifest something against something and the opposite, like you were getting the opposite of what you were intending, or did you recognize that and change it off? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another pan video.